bronze head of Seuthes III is a masterpiece of Hellenistic realism in art. The head was discovered in 2004 by Bulgarian archaeologists in the royal burial site of Golyama Kosmatka, not far from the ancient city of Seuthopolis. It stands out for its remarkably lifelike depiction of Seuthes III. He was a king of Odrysia, a part of Thrace, during the late 4th century BC. He founded the city of Seuthopolis, which became the capital of his kingdom. The sculptor paid meticulous attention to detail, capturing the ruler's facial features down to the wrinkles on the forehead and around the eyes, and a small wart on the left cheekbone. This craftsmanship allowed archaeologists to establish that the head, in fact, depicts Seuthes III. They compared the head with his profile images found on Thracian coins. In both cases, the heads are characterized by a thick beard and a crooked nose, which create a singular individual identity. The expression on the bronze head is also noteworthy. It conveys a feeling of determination and strength, befitting a ruler. The eyes are crafted with striking realism, adding a sense of life and personality to the sculpture. They are made of white stone, likely alabaster, and glass paste in light green, brown and black. The eyelashes are made from copper strips. The head is thought to be the work of a Hellenic sculptor belonging to the artistic circle of Silanion, or possibly Silanion himself. He was a renowned Greek portrait sculptor working during the 4th century BC. The results of the chemical analysis of the foundry clay from the inside of the bronze head show that the soil is from the Seuthopolis area, so the cast was made locally. The head was buried ritually in front of the impressive facade of the tomb of Seuthes III. I'll speak more about the ritual later in the video. The tomb was built in a mound, which is among the largest funerary monuments in Thrace, with a height reaching 23 meters and a diameter of 130 meters. Inside is a long corridor, an anteroom, a round chamber with high tholos ceiling, and a rectangular chamber resembling a sarcophagus, constructed from 2 monolith blocks, one weighing more than 60 tons. A 2-winged marble door closes the entrance to the round chamber. The upper planes of the door wings are decorated with images of the god Dionysus, who in the east part embodies the sun, and in the west the earth and night. However, some interpret those images as depicting Helios and Medusa. A stone ritual couch or a funeral bed was carved in the rectangular chamber. It was covered with fabric made of a golden thread. Multiple personal belongings and gifts needed for the afterlife of the ruler were carefully placed in the room. The name of Seuthes was inscribed on 3 of the items. After the burial, the entrance of the round chamber and the anteroom were blocked. The horse of the ruler was sacrificed and the corridor was set on fire, causing the collapse of its wooden ceiling. The presence of the images of Dionysus in the tomb is significant. In Seuthopolis, archaeologists unearthed a sanctuary of Dionysus, which shows that the cult of the deity was prevalent in the city. The cult of the Dionysus was directly linked with Orphism, a set of religious beliefs and practices originating in Thrace. It has been described as a reform of the earlier Dionysian religion. These beliefs are associated with literature ascribed to the mythical Thracian poet Orpheus, who, like Dionysus, descended into the Greek underworld and returned. The suffering and death of the god Dionysus at the hands of the Titans has been considered the central myth of Orphism. According to this myth, the infant Dionysus is killed, torn apart, and consumed by the Titans. He is later reborn, thanks to Zeus. Orpheus suffered a similar fate, having been torn in pieces by the Maenads, Dionysus' female followers. This leads us back to the bronze head of Seuthes III. It was once part of a full-size statue of the king, which possibly stood atop a pedestal excavated in the agora of Seuthopolis. The head was torn off the body and buried within the mound during the funeral ceremony. This symbolic dismemberment of the king's image suggests an Orphic ritual. It is uncertain what was the goal of such a ritual, but it was most likely to ensure that after death, Seuthes would spend eternity alongside Orpheus and other heroes. It's also possible that he was deified, and the site was turned into a heroon, a kind of shrine dedicated to the worship of a hero. Should the ceremonial reenactment of the dismemberment of Orpheus and Dionysus have occurred, it's feasible that other fragments of the statue might have been buried along the mound's edge, awaiting discovery in future excavations. It is worth noting that the tomb was originally a monumental temple built in the second half of the 5th century BC, and it stayed like that until around 300 BC, when Seuthes died and the structure was repurposed. Moreover, no human bones were found in the tomb, except only 3 teeth belonging to a 10 to 12-year-old child, which were scattered in the circular chamber. Thus, the mortal remains of King Seuthes III are missing. It is speculated that his corpse was also torn apart and thrown into the waters of the nearby river Tunza, known in antiquity as the Tonsus, in a ritual depicting the death of Orpheus, whose dismembered body was carried away by the river Hebrus into the sea. Orpheus's head washed ashore on the island of Lesbos and was then buried, and a shrine was built in his honor. The bronze head of Seuthes III is displayed at the National Archaeological Museum in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. Many other priceless artifacts found in the tomb are kept in the Museum of History Iskra in the city of Kazanlak.